Hey everyone, it's Evie here. I with Divine Readings with the Gypsy. Oh my God, that has been a year ago. Oh my goodness. And here I am almost rattling off my old name that I have not been using on YouTube for a while. So I don't know how many people are going to be involved with this talk and this deck talk. And I'm going to do a topic deck talk today. And today is all about the Rhoehrig Tarot. Rhoehrig. I didn't know how to really spell it in the name of the track. I usually spell the Rhoehrig Tarot which would be an Hohrig. I think that's usually how I spell it. But then I realized from the Kickstarter campaign, and this is partly why I'm showing you this deck today, or showing everybody this deck today, is it's Rhoehrig, I think, was for the Aurora Tarot. But anyways, or any matter, I will fix it promptly after this chat or live chat if it really became an issue of what is the true name of this deck. And I am going to be off camera today because I made a bad joke earlier about it to Keith, why I'm off camera today, but I'm off camera today. Oh, hi, how we been? How does this work? I am right now doing a tarot topic today, Miss Queen Bean. I am doing a tarot topic about this deck, and I might actually do a few readings towards the end if you want to. But as of right now, I am going to just only talk about mainly about this deck, everything about this deck, and why I love this deck and things like that. So, Kickstarter campaigns. The reason why it's okay. I, and so the reason why I'm showcasing this deck today is because there is a Kickstarter campaign out for this. All right, I don't know how long my talk is going to be, Miss Queen Bean, so I will go ahead and take questions at the end. And we will do readings at the end. So I don't know how long my talk is going to be. Just to let you all know, I think I'll go ahead and do some example readings with this deck afterwards. So let me go ahead and show you the two decks that I have of this deck. This version is a trimmed Spanish edition of this deck. Let me see if I could zoom in a little bit closer. Let me see if I could take my big version away. And that is a version I want to talk about here in a little bit, but let me see if I could, yes, zoom a little bit closer on the backs and the cards. So the backs of this deck, this is the trimmed Spanish edition, is this beautiful ocean waterscape, celestial ocean waterscape. And the cards themselves, I did not put either or of this deck in order because these both are very much my working decks. I read with these so often. This deck is one of my most used deck in my entire deck collection, if you all want to know. And so I read with these so often that it would drive me insane trying to put them in order and then take them out of order again. So I got the trim Spanish edition, and this is my first edition that I received of the Rhoehrig Tarot in a trade. I think, what did I trade for this deck? I traded the Light Strider for this deck on Instagram. There was a lovely lady on Instagram, and I was putting a post out on Instagram saying, with my picture of the Lion Strider, saying, I'm working with a deck, but I'm not sure if I'm really jiving with it. And then I had this beautiful little girl, and she says, would you trade with me? I have these decks that I could totally trade for. And she showed the Rhoehrig Tarot and I believe it was the Visions Tarot, the Prisma Visions Tarot. I already had the Prisma Visions Tarot, and I saw this deck, and just something about this deck said, I need you, and I need to be with you. And so I smiled and said, I'll take the Rhoehrig Tarot, and or the Spanish edition of the Rhoehrig Tarot. And she felt like she was gypping me out of a trade because she really wanted to trade me the Prisma Visions deck for the Line Strider. And I said, no, no, my dear, let me go ahead and take the Rhoehrig Tarot, and I promise you're not going to be gypped at the trade. And I'm so glad that I did because I don't think I would have discovered this deck otherwise. I have seen this deck before, but it was like one of those decks that I really, really loved the imagery of. But it was like one of those unicorns on, it was like a unicorn on eBay. And, excuse me, I'm just getting over the last bit of my cough. It was just kind of like one of those unicorns that couldn't afford it. I wouldn't be able to. I'll go ahead and flip through it a lot slower with my bigger version because it's a lot more colorful and bountiful. But I just didn't think that I would have been able to afford it otherwise. And I am not necessarily was a big fan of this version. The Spanish version had a big white border and had the Spanish on the top. It will look it looked very similar to the English version, but it was about tarot sized, this tarot sized, and with the Spanish titles. And I just was like, no, s'il vous plaît, no, no, gracias. I read Spanish and stuff enough, but not for this deck. It was like, I think I will go ahead and trim it. And I'm so glad that I trimmed it. Oh, hi, Miss Bridget Lopez. So I'm so glad that I've trimmed it because it is a stunning deck. It's a beautiful deck. It's like a blend between Thoth and... It's a blend between the Thoth deck and the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. I'm having brain farts today. But it's like a nice, beautiful blend between a Thoth and a Rider-Waite-Smith. And I actually love, love, love doing this deck for love readings, believe it or not. This is like the deck that I pick out. I like to know, what does Michael think about me as a person, please? I will go ahead and do example readings after my explanation of the cards in the deck. Miss Bridget, I was telling another lovely lady this too earlier. So I will go ahead and do some example readings and free readings at the end of the video or at the end of the explanation. But I know that there's a lot of, this deck is going around Kickstarter. And I was just explaining it to some of the tarot collectors for a little bit. Miss Bridget. Okay. So we will go ahead and do some free readings with this deck. And I will show off this deck and why I like it so much for readings. It is a very beautiful deck. And it has very beautiful sceneries and landscapes. It kind of has that little bit of a 90s punk vibe to it. It's very celestial and very water. I that's also another reason why I love this deck. It's a very water-based deck. It has a very water energy, and water is all about harmony, balance, love, emotions, going through the emotions, and explorations of the emotional soul. And I just absolutely think this deck is a gem. And it's just, I think the readings I get from this deck are absolutely fantastic for love. And everything about this deck I think is lovely. All right. And that was just a real quick flip through the cards of the Spanish version. And the this is the English edition, and this is why I was going to show this one last, is because this this big English edition is from the it's going to be about the same size as the Kickstarter deck, which is about the 3.5 inches by like 6 inches. So they're really huge cards, and I think they're about the almost the same size as. I'm Peruvian. My mother's language is Spanish. Oh, awesome. Muy un poco español. Not very good at Spanish, I'm afraid. I understand it better than I can speak it. But this is going to be what the Kickstarter deck is going to look like, or about the size of what the Kickstarter deck is going to be. And what I like about my English edition of this deck is it is huge and the colors are like vibrant and like dances off the page. Oh, thank you, Miss Bridget. So I love how the colors dance off the card, and you can really get into the details of the card. Like you can see all those little nuances that you really can't see with the Trim Spanish edition that I'm going to read with. That's the one thing I do love about this older English version of the deck. And this one was, I think it's called Blue Box of the Rhoehrig. I have the boxes upstairs. I wonder how these cards are made too. I don't know if the artist is a collage artist or an acrylic painter or an oil painter. Let me see if I could do a little zoom here. I have to read up on the Kickstarter campaign. I know this deck is on Kickstarter right now. I think that the reason why I'm not going to be doing the Kickstarter campaign is, one, I have no budget to do to invest in my favorite deck. Even though this is my favorite deck, I have no budget or have no finances to back this deck on Kickstarter, unfortunately. Two, I love the size of this deck, don't get me wrong, but the Kickstarter version, they have like blurred borders. They're going to have like the blurred borders, and then the font is going to be different. I love the font this original font that this is. I don't feel like I need to invest into the Kickstarter campaign. I kind of go back and forth when I see this deck. I kind of go back and forth like, oh, I should totally trim this deck, but this is a collector's deck. This version is a collector's because there's only so many of the English edition of this deck out there. I think also another very prized edition of this deck is the German version of this deck. And so unfortunately, this is a pretty penny on eBay if you were to get the English edition of this deck. However, I do know that the Spanish edition here is quite accessible and quite affordable, I think, on Amazon and even on eBay. But this English edition, it's usually going price is about $100 plus. And I got this deck as a steal for about $40. So this one, I kind of got it as a steal. But I so love this deck. This deck is like amazing, amazing, amazing. All right, enough bragging about the cards. I have a few lovely ladies in the house that would like to see some example readings of this deck. And I will go ahead and do that. I know Miss Queen Bean was... unfortunately, Miss Bridget, she was in the chat and patiently waiting before. I'm sorry, so I'm going to have to do it as names popped out. It's Rhoehrig or Rhoehrig, not Rhoehrig. Okay. Sorry. I have to do that. Love reading this week for me, please. November, 11th through K. So I'm going to do some free readings with this deck, Lauren. Since this deck is being promoted on Kickstarter, I did explain a little bit about this deck. And I'm going to do a little bit more explanations of this deck as I go and why I love this deck so much. So this is a topic tarot chat and it's all about the Rhoehrig tarot. I figured that I spelled it wrong, Soren, but that's kind of okay. Thanks for honoring the order. I appreciate it. Yeah, I try to. I'm trying to honor the order as best as I can because I understand that people, when they have to track scrolling and stuff, I try to remember that it's coming back. Yay! Yeah. Okay, Miss Blah Blah, or Mr. Blah Blah. I will let you know. I have Miss Bridget next, and then I could do you after Bridget. But right now I'm doing Queen Bean, and it's a November love reading from the 11th through the 18th. Okay. Okay. I'm going to try to do some 3 card readings, but if I feel like Spirit wants to pull me through more cards, I will see what they say. All right. And I'll zoom in here in a second. Oh, the glare on this is amazing. All right. And I'll move this down. All right. So we got the Two of Swords, which is kind of saying that you kind of are at a, so from the 11th, and I am not really good with my dates, so I don't know what today's date is. I think today's the 10th, so I'm going to say that tomorrow's the 11th. That's kind of funny. I don't even know what the date is, but I will go with what the card says. Okay, today's the 11th. Okay, that's what's funny. But I'm just gonna go roll with it. It's 11:11. Oh, how could I not know that, Miss Queen Bean? 11:11 at 11 o'clock. We should all do our woogas. All right. So I see the Two of Swords right here, and the Two of Swords is all about that balance and communication, and it's kind of that very, yes, okay, okay, I am so bad. My bad. So, Two of Swords is all about, okay, hi, Angel Moon. But so, Two of Swords is all about that balance of communication. And right here, even in the cards, it says peace, peace. And I know that in the Thoth, I think this card is peace or truce, I believe. Okay, make a wish today. I'll have to remember that, Soren. But okay, so we got. So I'm trying to remember that. It's trying to listen to my spirits too. So I kind of feel like the kind of thing I'm seeing is that right now you're at a place of a standstill or communication standstill. Maybe balancing if you should say something or not say something. Like it's all about the spoken, it's all about the thought. Should I say something that's on my mind, or should I not say something on my mind to this person? I don't know. I do feel like there's a person involved. I don't know who the person is. I'm not sensing that, the person in question, but I do feel like there's a person involved. But I just feel like have something on your mind and you're just kind of waiting it out there and just kind of, okay, a crush of 10 months. So I'm kind of feeling that I said, sense that there was a person involved. And I'm just kind of sensing that it is at a standstill, and it just kind of is like, should I say something or should I not say something? And hold on, Miss Blah Blah or Mr. Blah Blah. I'm sorry. I'm still on it. That's okay. And so, and then my next card here that I have for the 11th through the 18th is the Eight of Cups. And traditionally in the Rider-Waite-Smith, it's all about this. It's like this man going on a journey, and he's going on a journey searching for his higher self. But I kind of see in the Rhoehrig Tarot, it kind of looks like the Nothing if you are into the never-ending story. If you're into the never-ending story, this kind of looks like the Nothing, and then everything kind of just blows away and just blows down, and everything gets swept away and makes new again. So that actually is a very Eight of Cups energy too. I find like the Nothing, everything kind of gets blown away in the wind, and everything gets cleansed and started new again. Because when Eight of Cups comes into play in the Rider-Waite-Smith system, it's always searching for your higher self. You're searching for that higher. What is it that I really need to be doing? What is it that will emotionally satisfy me? It's the emotional work that you put into everything. And so I guess you should put into work. Is this maybe this relationship isn't working for me, or is it not working for me, or is this crush working for me or not working for me? Should I be waiting forever, or should I just wipe the slate clean and let it renew again? And right here you have the Princess of Coins, and she in the Rider Waite, and not really in the Rider Waite, but more in the Thoth. She is more about that pregnancy and the giving birth of. She's all about the physical world and physical things, and so she's kind of giving birth and giving life to something new in her everyday world. She's giving birth of something new in her everyday world. So maybe you're deciding in your. This is what I'm reading and sensing. Maybe you're deciding that this relationship is maybe you're waiting too long. I'm kind of getting like there's a standstill or standoff, and maybe you're waiting too long, and you're kind of sick and tired of waiting, and just kind of was like, okay, should I say something to him? Should I not say something to him? And also here you kind of have like that, okay, maybe I emotionally need to cleanse all this away. Maybe I should just start all over again. And then here you got this fertility and this birth of new ideas and new things. So give birth to something new in your physical world. Maybe that's what you need. It's just a good clean slate. And I see that I have a few people in the chat waiting for readings, so I'm going to unfortunately have to do 3-card readings today. Usually when I have not so much of a line, I will elaborate a little bit more, but I'm seeing that, whoops, I see we have a few people in the chat waiting. But I felt like that was a very halfway decent explanation of what you're going through, though. I just kind of see that as far as the cards go. So okay, Miss Bridget, you were thinking about, is Michael thinking about you? Michael thinking about you, isn't it right? Was that your question, Miss Bridget? I remember that you were next, and then there was blah, blah. I think that was the question. And I love all these relationship. Okay, what does Michael thinks about me as a person? Okay. And I love all these relationship readings coming in because I feel like this is where this deck is the most strongest. I believe this deck is the strongest in relationship readings and things of the heart. I just totally think that this deck is like totally a love deck through and through, and wants to make love, give love, bring love, one love. So let's go see what Michael thinks about Miss Bridget. I'm just getting over this cold, so everybody's going to have to bear with my snuffles and little coughs every now and then. we got that 8 again. Yeah, it's getting really cold, Soren. It's definitely getting that cold thing. So I kind of got that. I'm not saying that you have bad cards on this, Bridget, but I'm not getting all those lovey-dovey vibes from this particular, 3 card spread. Because, like I said earlier, with the 8 of Cups, this is kind of like the Nothing, where you're kind of from Never-Ending Story, where you're blowing things away, creating new things, and winter is here basically already. Oh yes, for sure. So the Nothing is like blowing things away, making a clean slate, searching for that higher self of emotions, and putting the work into your emotions. So that energy is coming into your reading as well as it was coming into Queen Bean's reading. So you kind of got that emotional clearing and that physical clearing, and there's a lot of heartbreak. I think that this heartbreak is coming from your end. I don't think this is coming from his end. My spirit guides and my spirit people are kind of saying, I think it's Bridget's kind of having a little griefs of woes. Because it may be that there was some things of the heart that you really were putting. I'm feeling like you were putting something about yourself aside. Like something about your heart is being put aside, like being blown to the side and being set as special for somebody. And this somebody is Michael. So I'm seeing that you were putting something special into your somebody, like a special place in your heart for this Michael, and you cleared away. And this kind of is, I'm for whatever reason, my spirit guides are saying this is your heart, where you're cleared your heart away and made room for somebody into your life, into your heart, into your mind, and all of it is bringing sorrow because I don't feel like that he might be as into you as you're hoping. I feel like that's why you're getting this reading. Like you're hoping that you're going to get a good answer, but you're not getting the answer that you're wanting or desiring. And this was not my fault. I think this was just something that was already in the works, and that's why you're asking for this reading. And then here I got 4 of Pentacles, which is all about power and structure. 4 is all about power, structure, and stability, and especially for being coins or the discs, it's all about the physical world being stable. You're probably not in a good place, or maybe he's not in a good place physically in his physical world, and maybe there's a little bit of I'm feeling a little bit of a miser or a little bit of a somebody wanting to hold something close to them. I'm seeing like a selfish child a little bit, because 4 in the Rider-Waite-Smith system is all about the guy holding the coins to himself and doesn't want to share it to anybody else. So I feel like that there's something going on, that somebody's holding something physically from the other person, whether you're holding something back from this Michael person or he's holding back from you physically, and it's not making a balanced relationship. I think it's making causing some turmoil there. But I do see that as far as how he thinks of you right now, I feel like that things are just not going the way you expect it. He's probably not, unfortunately, not thinking about you as much as you're hoping that he is, and it's causing a lot of grief and sorrow. But I do think that things will work out in the end, because 4 is also about stability and being stable into yourself and to your world around you. So I do think that it does have a happy ending, though. It does have a happy ending, that you're going to find 4 fortress. You find somebody to make your fortress with, and that's also a 4 thing, is a fortress, that inner fortress. And a coins thing is definitely like a physical fortress. So I'm hoping that helps you out, Miss Bridget. And blah blah. So blah blah. You were wondering some about your angel guides. What do they want to say to you? Isn't that what you were saying? You're welcome, Miss Bridget. So, blah blah, Miss blah blah, or Mr. blah blah. You kind of are asking about the angel guides. I don't know if you're still in the chat, but are you still around to ask the question of? I think it was angel guides. So let me go ahead and I do remember they said that they didn't have a really good connection. What would my angels like me to know? So I was able to scroll back up, and what would my angels like me to know? So I'll go ahead and do the reading anyways, regardless if you're in the chat or not. I'll go ahead and do the reading anyways for blah blah. What would your angels like you to know? So let's go ahead and see what the angels want you to know today. I'm going to go ahead and read for them, Soren, and they can rewatch it later if they need to. And then whoever's next, I'll go ahead and read for them and do a 3-card reading for them. And I did drop a card, so I'll put it back in there. I didn't feel like it was a jumper. It just felt like it dropped it in messy shuffle. All right. Let's see what we could do for blah blah. Oh my goodness. Everybody's getting that 8 of cups today. So, okay. Hi, can I get a general reading? I feel standstill at the moment. Okay, I'll get Adam next after this. So, okay. Blah blah. If you're gonna watch this back at all, I did continue your reading. Excuse me about my cough, everybody. But you kind of got that same thing, energy going on, like everybody else is right now. You're kind of clean sweeping yourself. But your angels, I think, unlike other people's readings earlier, they kind of want you to send to your higher self emotionally. They want you to do, okay, what my guys' current love situation? I'll get Elizabeth next after Adam. Okay, I will do that. So send to that higher emotional self. I went ahead and started your reading anyways, blah, blah. So you go ahead and connect to your higher emotional self. Do what you want to do today. And sometimes the 8 is about work, and sometimes you got to put in the work for it. And I think you should, okay, can I get a love situation or read about my love situation? Okay. Soren, I hope you could help me keep in track of people's readings real quick because I am going to go ahead and just go ahead off the handle. So, I think that the angels would want you to know to connect to your higher emotional self, and it might take a little bit of work and elbow grease on your end. So go ahead and connect to that self emotionally, whatever it is that you need to know in yourself. I don't know what you're working through right now, but there's something I'm sensing like you're working through something, blah, blah. And you just gotta go ahead and work through it because also 10 is I'm glad that I said that and just kind of rambled and not looked at the card because 10 is all about burdens. 10, or at least the 10 of Wands is all about burdens and physical burdens. and you really are feeling physical burden about something emotionally, and that's where your angel guides want you to know that you should not feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. They have got your back. You have time to go ahead and release some of those burdens, and don't feel like you have to be locked in this box, because there's only a three-sided wall. It's only not a four-sided wall. So you're not completely locked in the box, even though you feel like you're locked in the box. You could come out this way. You might have to jump off the cliff, but hey, life is an adventure. And also that's what your angel guides also want you to know. And also, and this one is all about that. Four is all about that mental rest. Four is about structure, and about the structure of your mind. And maybe the angel guides are kind of telling you, maybe you need to quiet your mind a little bit. Maybe you need to look within and regather your thoughts and not overthink it, as I got from a reading from somebody at a psychic fair this weekend, as somebody told me not to overthink it, and that is something that I am going to tell you. Just don't overthink it. Your angel guides is saying maybe you should take a mental break, but don't overthink it, and you will be okay. Okay, I'll get you. I think I got three people ahead of you, Miss Guy. Adam. I think Adam was next. Can I get a general reading? I feel a standstill at the moment. Okay. So, Adam. General reading, and feels like he's at a standstill at a moment. All right. I'm actually very glad I got to do readings for everybody tonight. I actually have been really enjoying these free readings that I've been doing for everybody, especially since I've closed down my Etsy shop because of personal reasons. It kind of gives me like that satisfying outlet, like I'm helping others. And I really love readings and doing readings for people, because it does help that inner need to want to reach out and help somebody out. Okay, so Adam, general reading, feeling like a standstill. Actually, Adam, you'd be surprised. I usually don't do general readings with this deck. This deck is usually my love deck, but we'll see how it works in the general reading too. All right, so we got some 9 and 10 energy. Oh, we got that 10 again. So I'm going to put the deck aside there. 9 is all about gain, and this one is says gain on it, and it's all about getting. I think 9 is definitely in the Rider-Waite-Smith system. It's more like see the fruits of your labors come into fruition. Kind of like a stand, like the 7 energy in the Pentacles is more like seeing things come, like grow. 9 is more like seeing your hard work finally coming into fruition. You put in the work and you're seeing it, actually the flowers blooming. You're seeing the aftermath. You're seeing how things are finally coming together. But I sense that there is some because of your question, like feeling like there's a standstill, that there is some discontent with that, and I don't know why. Maybe let me read into the cards a little bit over here. Say to you over here, 10 of Cups. You kind of have emotionally happy things going on. I think you feel like, I don't know what's going on, but my spirit guides are saying something to me. What are they saying? What are you guys trying to tell me? My spirit guides are saying something about something, like that there's something about um something that just not working out. You're seeing it if because of from usually when I see the nine of it all, you got it all in the bag. You got everything you need. You're seeing you put in the work, you put in the hard work. You now should be able to sit back and relax and have fun. Why you're not feeling happy, I don't know. There's something's not jiving. I don't know what's not jiving. I don't know if it is like you finally put in the work and you're feeling like that things are not coming to me. Like maybe you're looking for a relationship. Maybe you're looking for money. Maybe you're looking for that inner happiness, that inner satiety, that inner Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is all about reaping that emotional reward of feelings, and want to feel the woohoos. Maybe that's probably what it's going on. You just want to feel the enjoyment of it all, of your hard work, and you're just not feeling it. Instead, I think it feels like all this. Am I supposed to feel happy feeling? Am I supposed to be sad feeling? Am I supposed to, what? How am I supposed to be feeling? Feeling is making you feel sinking, get that sinking feeling. I don't feel like you're bombarded with all this stuff. I think that you got this. You got, you did the work. You've already did the hard work. You've already put in your time. You should get out there and have fun a little bit. Maybe don't take things so seriously. The emotional happiness is good too. It's good to put in work and be a career oriented person, but sometimes you got to take some time for yourself and take care of that emotional self. Make sure take care of those emotional needs that needs to be met, and it will alleviate those burdens. Ten of Wands is all about try to alleviate your load. You don't have to be on that spiritual overload anymore. You just gotta have to work through it. I think you got this. You got this, Adam. I know you got this. All right, and the next one is Elizabeth. I would like to know what my guides want me to know about my current love situation. Okay. So Elizabeth wants to know about her current love situation. Oh, what you got going on here? So you got the Hierophant, and Hierophant is all about that traditional mindset, that tradition, your religion, your structure. It's the structure that most people built their life and work around. It's tradition, like Thanksgiving is a tradition, Christmas is a tradition, and it's about being traditional. So something very traditional Whether your relationship, love situation, I'm guessing that maybe your person. I when I saw him, I this card, immediately said somebody who is your love interest or your somebody who you're emotionally connected to is very traditional and uh, very structured in their thinking. That's what I got. I don't know if that's what it is going on in your life, but I got an immediate hit that the person in your life is very strict, very traditional, and it's that holiday time of the year, like the Thanksgiving and the Christmas coming up, and Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Ramadan. What else? Um, I know that there's a slew of holidays that it doesn't matter which holiday and religion you've got going on. It's even Yule. Yeah, it's Yule too. I had to think about that. But there's somebody in your life that is very in rooted with tradition or wanting to make tradition happen with you. I don't know what religion of origin they're from, and I don't know if they're an older person in your life, but there is somebody in your life. I don't know if it's a romantic lover or a person in your life that is really trying to say, okay, this is what Thanksgiving should look like. This is what Christmas should look like. This is what Hanukkah should look like. And it's very structured, and I'm getting almost a robotic energy. I don't know why. I'm getting like a robotic energy going on. A lot of my body wants to do the Domo, Mr. Roboto dance. Don't know why, but I feel like somebody in your life is kind of wanting to hound down on that. And I guess if it's a love reading, and maybe your family might not be your lover. I don't know. But there's somebody in your life that is kind of pooping at the party, being a party pooper, and not um, wanting, not letting things just kind of saying, relax, it's Christmas, or relax, it's Thanksgiving. Somebody's really trying to make something happen for you, I'm guessing. And I don't know why. I'm just getting that energy. And then nine is all about strength, and nine is one is about it's sometimes like that stands in the Rider Waite Smith system is that standstill, and kind of waiting on something to happen. And nine of wands in the Rider Waite Smiths is like that waiting to happen. But in this deck, the Rhoehrig Tarot, nine is not the waiting to happen. It's that exploding, making things happen. Let's make things happen. Maybe it's like let's make this holiday. Let's make it the best holiday season ever. Maybe somebody that's that stroke of genius of let's make the best holiday ever and let's make it memorable. Whether it be, like I said, a romantic lover or love interest, or you just saying, screw it, I'm not doing it. I don't have a lover. I don't have anybody, but I want to find somebody. I'm just going to make it the best for myself. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Maybe you're making new traditions in yourself and you're exploding and saying, screw it, I'm going to have fun anyways, regardless if I have found my love or not. Um, the Prince of Cups or the King of Cups is also, King is all about the thinking of emotions. In this deck, you kind of got this guy thinking about all these booby ladies and thinking about sex, thinking about women. I do feel like there's a little bit of a snake in the brush for you. Like maybe there is a romantic suitor out there, but he's not thinking about making all these traditions happen, these Christmas happens. He's more worried about getting something in the bedroom, I'm thinking. I don't know. Maybe this is your energy. You're trying to make things happen, trying to make that spark, trying to make that boom, make it a memorable Christmas, make it a memorable holiday season, make it. I'm just saying Christmas, but I should be less ignorant than that and just holiday season, and you just want that holiday, make that holiday season. Maybe you might be wanting to make that holiday season with that person, and it just, I don't, I don't get the energy that that person wants to make it work out. I don't know how well I did there, Miss Elizabeth, but that's kind of what I'm sensing. And so, Saja, Saja wants general reading. Ooh. Saja wants a general reading about the love situation. Okay. Okay. Sasha wants a general reading of the love situation, and then it will be Sky. Its turn. So I'm hoping things will look better for you, Elizabeth. I'm sorry that I don't know how well I did for you, but I understand love situations can be complicated. I'm a girl, I get it. Guys, not always invested sometimes, and that's always unfortunate. That's kind of what I got a little bit too. All right. All right, Saja wants a general love reading. I really don't love these love readings tonight. They're all sad. They all make me sad. I think some people had some very beautiful, lovely outcomes in their love readings tonight, if I remembered. But I noticed for the most part, most people, everybody's love readings are a little it's like sorrow, worry, power. Like I sense that just a lot of sorrow about love, a lot of worry about love, and a lot of maybe physical structures about love. You know, your foundation about love is uh, maybe you got a lot of worries about. This is for Saja. I think you got a lot of sorrow and worry. Maybe you're not feeling like you're not finding your love. Maybe that's what it's feeling like. You're not finding your love. You're not finding that soulmate or that number one. You're worried that he's never going to get here. It's just kind of that's what I'm feeling. That's why I went, oh, I really hate giving readings like this. I really do, everybody. It's not like I love to give bad readings. No, I don't. I love to see people living happy ever after and running into the sunset. That actually is something that I love doing and seeing. But I'm seeing that you're not clear. I see that's the word I have right here that just popped up to me that where it wasn't earlier. So that tells me something that you're just not clear. You're not feeling like you're finding your way. You're sad that you're not finding that love. And you're worried that it's just not gonna happen, and you feel like this whole world is gonna crash in upon you because you kind of got those meteorites coming crashing on you. Five is all about the disruption too, of the physical world. Well, the disc is about the physical world, but five is all about the disruption, and the disruption of the physical world is kind of what's going on, and you're feeling like the world is against you, falling around you. But remember, things do get better. You're not always going to be alone forever. And maybe you just need to restructure your thought process and your things in the physical world. Maybe you need a new haircut. Maybe you need a just a new updo or do something different. Maybe change it up a little bit because four is all about structure. And sometimes I say maybe you should go against what your normal is. Go against structure. Instead of going left, go right. Do something different. Maybe change it up. Change up your physical world. You don't have to always keep it in that little square. You know, you don't always have to keep it in that square structure. You could always do something different. Maybe, yeah, just as simple as maybe changing the hairstyle, maybe changing something that's different. So I'm hoping that you could find that right balance for you. And four is also a balance number because it's an even number, and you can find that right balance for you. What structure and what thing works for you. And I hope that works out. Okay. And Sky, would you like to get a reading on this guy? What's the question? I'm ready to get to you. All right. And if Sky is, unless Kylie has a question, I think Sky will be my last person tonight for as far as free readings go with this deck, as far as an example readings with this deck go. Because I have done quite a few people, I believe. So, Miss Sky, what is the question that you have going on for you right now? And I'm patiently waiting and I'm listening. All right. I think you're all still there, but I get kind of nervous when everybody's quiet because my internet connection is not been the greatest. My internet connection has not been the greatest, and I don't know if anybody has listened, but that's okay. I'll muscle through this. So, yeah, Sky, I think you're going to be my last one if you're still in the house at all. If you're still in the house at all, I'll go ahead and take your question. I think you will be my last person for the night, unless Kylie or someone else just randomly pops in. All right. So I'm not seeing Sky, um, but I will go ahead and do a reading for her if she does ever come back. I'll remember her, but I would say the readings are closed unless she comes back. Then I'll go ahead and do a reading for her because I said I would. And so the Kickstarter decks. So I'm waiting on Sky whenever she comes back. So the Kickstarter decks is going to be about this big. And I really love this version because it is very beautiful deck and it is very, very detailed. And I love reading with this, the big deck too, this big deck. But I do find it's very hard for me to shuffle because it is a bigger deck. And the one thing that I do know is that this deck is very similar to the. It's very similar to the, was it the Handel Tarot? And the Handel Tarot is, it kind of has these Hebrew letters and these runic things. And I think some of them, but not all of them, have the, I think that they do have the planetary symbols in these too. Yeah, they do have the planetary symbols, and they have the runic associations. I don't necessarily agree with the runic associations, and I believe, but I'm not sure, that the Hebrew letters are the thoth or thoth, thoth or thoth structure, but I'm not quite sure because I haven't done the thoth studies for a while. Haven't read with the thought system in a while, and I haven't really studied the Hebrew associations with the thought in a while too. I think if I remembered correctly, they go their own structure, but I'm not sure. I know that the Handel Tarot has its own rhythm and own structure. I don't remember if this deck follows the Thoth structure or not as far as that goes. And so here's our 10 of wands that quite a few of you had tonight. And it has oppression, and it is an oppression. And you kind of got some of the German words. They have German words. They have the English words. I really love her. The High Priestess in this deck is absolutely gorgeous. I love her face. It's very serene. And of course, the 2 wands. I kind of said if Sky were to come back in the chat, I would go ahead and do a reading for her, but I was kind of waiting patiently if she was going to come back. Just throwing it out there because I see somebody else came into the chat. And I love this card for love. Oh my God. 2 of Cups is one of my favorite cards of all time. Because I'm corny like that. I love love. I love love, and I love to give some love. Love to receive some love. I'm joking. But this deck is just the best as far as I think the beauty of this deck goes. Knight of Wands is so beautiful. I love him. He's like my man in this deck. He's like, wow, he's passionate. I didn't see too many of the court people come into the readings tonight. So that's interesting because usually the courts come up all the time, and especially with this deck, when the courts show up, it usually means like a lover of some kind. And I didn't get to any of that tonight as far as the readings go. That was interesting. And then I really love the Fool card. He's very iconic to this deck, too. And you get to see right there in the bottom. Oh my gosh, look at this. Virtue. Oh my goodness, look at that. That landscape and that beautiful flower. That's what I like about these big cards is that you can really dive into the cards and the symbolism of these cards. Whereas I think this the smaller deck that I was reading with earlier, they're great, but with these bigger cards, you could totally get lost in them. These I could do a 3-card reading with. It's just a little bit harder to shuffle with them. Look at that. Look at that. I love the Magus or the Magician. Ah. Oh, this is one of my favorite cards in this deck, actually. This is the Prudence. But look at the beautiful tree that makes. Very beautiful card. Of course, the sun. Very beautiful. Got that little naked baby there, too. But that's one thing I like about this deck, too. It has a little bit of everything. Oh, that beautiful strength card. Prince of Disc. I'm one of those corny people that I say, this is a pretty card, this is a pretty card, this is a pretty card. Queen of Swords. Princess of Swords. Oh, man. Success. The Empress. Beautiful death card. It's not my favorite death card, but it's definitely a beautiful death card with a child there. I'd say she's a child or a younger person. And this chariot is definitely like a moving chariot, making things happen. Speedster wagon. Oh, this hermit is one of my favorites, actually. I just love how he's looking for direction, and he has a maze on his face. Oh, and he has that little hermit right there. I don't think I've ever noticed that, actually. And then there has little saying here. It says Virgo finds one's own light to think things over, rest in one's own counter, completion, faithfulness. Oh, that's so cool. The little notes down there. That's what I was reading. Oh man, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And actually, this is one of my favorite Princess of Cups of all time. I just love her 90s tank top and little underwear, whatever she has. It's very 90s, very beautiful. Oh yeah, he's beautiful too. With his cloak of many colors. The Knight of Swords, right? Yep. Ruin. Victory. Oh, that power card. Look at that. The one thing, like I said, and the one thing I do like about this, this. Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't realize that this was. Let me go ahead and set this aside for a second. So you can see how small the image is here. You could see a little bit of a deck comparison here. So I think the tone in this one is a little bit darker, ever so slightly, than that one. But I feel like the image over here is a little bit more clear than this one and a little less saturated. I feel like there's a little bit of a purple or saturatedness. And you just really can't see all the little nuances, I think, in the smaller ones versus the bigger ones. But I do feel like, in general, that the smaller deck is easier to read with because these ones are hard to shuffle. The bigger deck is hard to shuffle. That's why I usually use my Spanish Indolence. It's the one that a lot of people got tonight too. It's just like that nothing card. Pleasure with the Six of Cups. Luxury. I remembered someone getting this card, which is the strength. Striving. Oh, failure. Beautiful. I have thought about trimming this particular deck. I think I've said that already, but I thought about trimming this particular deck, and I just said, oh no. Oh no. This is a collector one. And I think us people would actually die if I trim this deck, because it is a collector's deck, and there might not be there's it's on Kickstarter, which means it might not come to pass, especially if they don't make their budget or whatever, their minimum budget for their printers and stuff. They might not come out with that. The new Rhoehrig edition. I don't know why they don't try to make a deal with U.S. Games or something like that, or one of those. I didn't realize that in the color. Yeah, like right there on her neck, there's like a splotches of color, but I don't feel like. Yeah, that's intentional. It is intentional. I just never noticed that before. So yeah, Kickstarter is great for some things, but it doesn't guarantee that the deck will go through. The ability to give. Oh, I love the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is one of my cards. And the Wealth. Sky, if you're out there, I am waiting on you, but I don't know if you're popping in or that other people are popping in. So I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just going to go ahead and continue my talk. Oh, look at that. I don't remember seeing him. I think I said that before the last time I saw him. I was like, I don't remember seeing him. Well, yeah, he's there. Little guy on the bottom. Fortune. Ace of Disc. Yeah, someone tonight too had this, which is Gain. Gain. Princess of Wands. Oh, she's gorgeous. Beginning. Science. I love this card. Ace. Ace of Swords. Change. Knight of Disc. The Tower. Prince of Wands. He's absolutely gorgeous. I say that all the time. Princess of Disc. Someone got this earlier in the reading. Absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful star card. Prince of Swords. If they came out with a borderless edition of this deck, I'd be so game. You know, just keep the size. Just come out with a borderless edition of this deck. I would totally buy this deck in a heartbeat. Because I don't mind this deck being as big as it is, as long as it kind of got trimmed down just a little bit. I don't know. But I love this big version too. But I feel like with the bigger version, I kind of have to compromise my shuffling. I'll show you. That's kind of how I shuffle it. And then I kind of do that together. There's no bridge. Just kind of side shuffle. kind of push this together, and then I kind of do the upward. Oop. See, I can't really shuffle all that great with this deck. But yeah, I would really like a regular tarot size version of this deck. I kind of have an Russian version or a Ukraine version upstairs of this deck, but it has black borders and the mat on it is incredibly awesome. But I felt like the colors were so dark in it that it's almost unusable because of the colors being so dark. I don't know. So I'll kind of show you an example spread since Sky is not about with the bigger version of this deck or the English size version of this deck. Because I know for my tarot people, this one is on Kickstarter. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do that. Oh, that beautiful Princess of Cups, the world and indifference. And just kind of show that what it would look like in the really big spread. Oh my goodness. Absolutely gorgeous. And I just absolutely love this deck for love readings. Like I said before, it just feels like that it was meant to be a love reading deck, and I just absolutely love this. So if you could back this deck on Kickstarter, I totally would have backed this deck on Kickstarter, but because of life situations, I cannot afford this beautiful deck again, even though I would have totally bought the expansive editions and stuff like that of this deck. I would have been one of those people that would have bought the book, the deck, the bonus cards, and the signed copies of the from the artists and all this good stuff. But I just can't afford it, unfortunately, from Kickstarter to support the campaign on Kickstarter. So I'm a big fan of this deck. As you can see, I have like three copies of this deck. I might get a fourth copy and do more with it. If that is even at all possible, I do more with it. I probably get a. I had been thinking about getting a fourth copy or another copy of the Spanish edition and either have it just not untrimmed of the Spanish edition. I don't know what I would have done. I think I would have changed this and put the I might still do this is put the label maker to it and try to keep it so it's borderless, but I have the label maker to it. I did that with my Hondo Tarot. You know, I put the label maker to the Hondo Tarot, and my Hondo Tarot has the label maker to it for several years, and I've never had any problems um, with the labels coming up on it or the tape of the label maker coming up on it. But if I start label making this deck, you kind of will take away some of that borderless artwork though. And that was one of the things that I was not wanting to do is I don't want to take away from the borderless artwork. Maybe I'll label make um the Russian version. That probably is what I'll do. That one has the black borders on it, so I probably will do that. I don't know yet. But this is my talk today about the Rhoehrig Tarot, and I did some example readings. Unfortunately, Miss Sky Blue, I didn't get your reading in, but rain check. I will be doing more live readings. I will do more readings in the future, and maybe, yeah, I'll do a rain check tonight. I did a lot of it energy. I felt a lot of energy in it today, so it was a lot of work energetically today, just doing the little what I did do. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna go. I love you all, and thank you for staying with me with a very long and dizzy chat of mine. So thank you very much. Have a good day. Blessed be.